my name is Caroline Phelan, and I'm presenting on mammal abundance in protected areas. Now, when I say protected areas, I'm talking about wildlife refuges, or state parks, or federal land, something like that. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is this guy. His name is 32 Chunk. He is very spherical. So the Fat Bear Week happens every year in Alaska, as bears try to prepare for hibernation. They get very, very big, and they get rated based on their fatness. This guy didn't win, but I chose him as a picture because of how perfect and round he is. He's an amazing specimen. And he's actually one of the species we're going to be talking about today. So for predators, we're talking about brown bears, coyotes, and gray foxes. And for prey, moose, desert cottontails, and white-tailed deer. A research question is that does the size of a protected area affect the detection rate of predator species, and does it inversely affect prey species? So we have two hypotheses based on this. The first is that if predator species prefer to stay inside big protected areas, then prey would prefer to stay outside big protected areas. And the second one is if prey species prefer to stay inside small protected areas, it may be because predators are less abundant in small protected areas. We plan on using Tableau to make these graphs, and Tableau pulls from camera trap data in North America, mostly done by college students. So we're going to compare different sets of data on detection rate of camera traps or chosen species in large and small areas, within and outside protected areas, compare them to each other. So this first graph is on predators. So the x-axis is inside and outside for each animal. So we're doing brown bears, coyotes, and gray foxes. Inside is blue, outside is red. And the y-axis is detection rate. So we can see here that brown bears aren't seen as much inside, but they're more seen outside protected areas. Coyotes are seen more inside protected areas than outside areas. And gray foxes are seen more outside protected areas than they are inside protected areas. And the next graph we're going to look at is the same thing, inside, outside, blue, red. We're going to do desert cottontails, moose, and white-tailed deer. So you can see that desert cottontails prefer to stay outside protected areas. Moose prefer to stay inside. White-tailed deer, they prefer to stay outside, but only by a very small margin. So the conclusion is that brown bears and gray foxes like to stay outside of both large and small protected areas, while coyotes prefer to stay inside protected areas of both sizes. And for prey species, moose and white-tailed deer prefer to stay within larger protected areas over smaller ones, while desert cottontails prefer to stay outside of both large and small protected areas. So this shows that our first hypothesis was wrong because predators don't prefer to be within protected areas, while prey tend to do better inside. Our second hypothesis was correct because when prey prefer to stay in small protected areas, predator species would be more abundant outside small protected areas. And this data was gathered by Olivia Pierce, Shania Flax, Jake Holmes, Juliana Balcom, Kellen Gentry, and me, Caroline Phelan. I hope you enjoyed my presentation. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.